Hello, Cheryl Greenwald here with my graduate project for fall 2022 CSCI E-7 Harvard Extension School Intro to Programming in Python. For my graduate project, I wanted to do something creative and in alignment with my special interests, so I created a word game. I call my game Wanagrams because I want to play it, and perhaps other word nerds will too. I spend much of my free time with word games, and I find it to be a fun and educational endeavor. One reason I find it educational is that playing multiple types of word games helps improve my abilities across the range of word games. For example, playing Spelling Bee has made me better at words with friends. Playing words with friends has made me better at crossword puzzles. In addition to those, I also play Wordle and Termo, which is a Portuguese version of Wordle. While I'm a native English speaker, I've been studying Portuguese for about 2.5 years, and I can clearly feel the difference in the steps my mind takes to solve Wordle versus Termo. When I encounter unfamiliar words, concepts, or facts in any game or puzzle, I look them up and I use that as a learning opportunity as well. In researching word games written in Python, I quickly found publicly available programs and packages. So I decided to challenge myself by manually writing the code based on my perspective as a novice programmer and game creator while being a seasoned consumer of word games and puzzles. Thus, rather than use the permutations package, for example, I wrote my own series of steps that you can see here on the screen that transforms words in a TXT file into a list of strings, then sorts each string into its own list of alphabetized letters, then joins each list of alphabetized letters into a string, which I used as the source for jumbled words. One great thing about Wanagrams is that the words can be in a different language or associated with a specific topic of interest, or limited to a certain number of letters, or any combination of these constraints, since the program simply takes one parameter, any TXT file of words. I'll scroll down. The next part of the Wanagrams program involves the user interface, including a welcome message, an invitation to enter a name, followed by a personalized greeting and options to begin or quit. Then I use the only imported package, random, to select a jumbled word to display to the user who chooses to take a guess or quit. Next, I used a while loop with a continue clause until the user enters the correct solution. In creating Wanagrams, I learned that finding anagrams was different from what I had initially thought. For example, my first attempt involved making a copy of the original list for looping through and finding matches between the two lists. But of course, every word in one list matched every word in the other. It made sense in my brain until I tried doing it, and that type of learning experience is optimal for me. During testing, I found and accounted for an edge case. My revision prevents the user from guessing a smaller word found within the solution word by including a length constraint in the if statement, which you can see here. Another decision I made was to compare the guess to the original word as a way to account for multiple words in the word list that are anagrams of each other. That is, the user's guess is correct as long as it is a real word in the original list with the same number of letters. And you can see that here. Though, like any word game, the solution is valid only insofar as it is contained in the source list. I also used this project as an opportunity to get more comfortable with the Visual Studio Code or VS Code editor, as well as using inputs, while loops, list comprehensions, and multiple function methods. In the end, I learned about putting an idea into action, and now I have a new game to play, which I will demonstrate here in my shell. So welcome to Wanagrams, please enter your name. And I account for all user input to be converted to uppercase, and I thought that that was a good way to show the user that their what they entered is being interpreted. So hello, Cheryl. To begin, enter Y. To quit, press any other button. I'll demonstrate that it quits if I press a button other than Y and says, thank you for playing Wannagrams, goodbye. So now I'll try again. To begin, enter Y. Try to unjumble the following word, or enter Q to quit, and I'll just show that functionality that it quits and it says the same message. This time I'll actually play, hello, Cheryl. To begin, enter Y. Try to unjumble the following word, ACETU. Now, if I get it wrong, if I get it wrong, it says that is incorrect, that it shows me what I entered is incorrect and says, try again, try to unjumble the following word, ACETU. And this loop, as I mentioned earlier, there's a while loop with a continue clause. And so this will continue on until I either get the correct answer or I quit. This time I'll get the correct answer. And it says acute is correct. Now that was an easy one. So I can go to my program here and very easily change the TXT file and go back to my terminal and play one more time. And you can see that I've got a harder word now. I don't know what it is. So I'll try something and it tells me it's incorrect. You know what? I'll quit because I don't know what that is. So finally, if I could make one improvement to this game next, it would be that when the user gets the correct answer, they get the opportunity to play again instead of just going to the end and quitting. So thank you very much for watching.